Evening, everyone. Robert here. Thought I'd give you a little video review of the LG G2, which is my current device. Show you some of the pros and cons and some of the things I like and don't like, and maybe help you make a decision if you were toiling over a phone like I was. So here it is. Nice phone. Now, I did get the LG flip cover, the case for it, with a quick view window. I was told it was supposed to do notifications, but it doesn't. Nice concept, poor design. It's not functional. I don't like the case at all, and unfortunately, it was kind of expensive. It was $50. The back of this is extremely smudge and finger prone, like the back of the phone. I'm not really a flip cover case kind of guy, but I thought with a quick view window, maybe I could, change the way I use it, and that would be extremely useful. But it's not. You can, say LG has the knock knock feature. It does work in the quick view window, but see, it's not recognizing it through the screen. There you go. But all you get is you can change the face of the clock to different clocks. You can swipe to the weather. That's really about it. If a phone call comes in, you can't answer the phone call. It has the picture. As soon as you open the case, it turns the screen on. But it does that if you let go of it, or if you fold it back and you're using it for a while. Then what will end up happening is when you let go of it, it won't stay closed until you hold it down. Or a lot of times I'd have to turn the phone upside down to get the case to actually stay closed. So I don't really like it. I have some Cruiser Light cases on the way. I've been using Cruiser Light for a long time. Here's my old Note 2 Cruiser Light. Love it. So as soon as they get here, it's going to be replaced. So I'm going to take it out right now because I don't really care to use it. Set that over there. Okay, so phone is great. Obviously with the buttons on the back, that's one of the big things everyone's talking about. So the sides are completely smooth, bottom smooth. You have your charging port. You have your earphone and little microphone, IR, and mic on top. But I find this to be much better than like my Note 2 with the buttons on the side. Because I was always hitting these buttons or trying to be careful not to hit them. Don't have to worry about that here. And when you're holding the phone, this phone fits really good in my hand. I love the screen size of the Note 2, and I really toiled over the Note 3. But when it came right down to it, I wanted to be able to use the phone with one hand again, which was something I lost with this, as far as using it accurately or well, because the phone's so big you can't really reach, and you're constantly sliding the phone around up and down in your hand to reach where you need to reach. But this here fits much better, and it's not a problem to reach almost all corners without really manipulating the phone very much at all, which is great. This is 5.5. This is 5.2. Not really losing much screen real estate. 1080p HD. Not 1080p HD. Of course, I know the Note 3. The screen's a lot better on it than the Note 2. But the screen is one of the things that really brought me to the phone. The IPS display on this, I think it's 424 ppi, something like that. It's phenomenal. I got the brightness turned down for the video, but I usually run about 90% brightness, only because I like it bright outside a lot. No problem seeing it. Looks great. So, in holding it, the button, it only took me about a day to get used to it. And one of the things I really like is, you always want to do a screenshot of this, screenshot of that. All you have to do is, once you get used to the button placement, you can feel where they're at. And you just simply take your finger and press the power and the down button and hold it, and there's your screenshot. It's super easy. One hand. Love it. When you're in camera mode, up or down volume takes pictures. So, again, you just hold it and take a picture. and you really never change your hand position on the phone at all. So it works very, very well. One thing that I have a little issue with, because I'm left-handed, and I've noticed people telling me, "You're muffled, I can't hear you," is that the speaker is down here towards the bottom on this side of the phone. The microphone. And I end up cupping it in my hand. So I have to be careful when I'm talking on it, being that I'm left-handed, to not cup the bottom corner of the phone. But that's a small, minor adjustment and not a big deal. When you're using it with your right hand, it's not an issue, because over here is the speaker. It's not the microphone. But that's just a little minor inconvenience. As far as the UI goes, I know a lot of people have, they're comparing it to TouchWiz, and they're giving it kind of a, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible. But really, I don't think it is. I don't think it's bad at all. I've used TouchWiz, obviously, on my Note 2. Yeah, it's bloated, and I don't like it at all. But the stock launcher is not all that bad. Now, I do have Apex running right now. Only a few reasons for that. One is I like to be able to resize widgets to whatever I want, which stock launcher you can't. I have a swipe down motion for, anywhere on the screen I can swipe down. It brings my notification tray. I know down here, the buttons, which are the soft keys, are pretty cool. There's no hardware keys. They allow you to change the orientation. I can add a key, so I can actually add a key for notification down here, but I don't need to. Which I like the ability to kind of switch that around. But that's the only reason why I really use the Apex. Of course, I can save all my settings too, which is huge, because I'm always constantly, now it's not rooted yet, but I'm sure it will be. But when you're rooting and you're constantly changing ROMs, it's nice to be able to have a backup of your desktop to where you just restore everything. So that's another reason why I use Apex, which I'm just partial to Apex. Been using it for a long time. Another thing that people don't like is the notification, how it's so busy. There's too much here. Now, as you see right now, these are all notifications. The only thing you see is this bar, but it does come with this Q slide. And as you can see, that Q slide more than doubles the space that it takes. But I don't use the Q slide. It's basically LG's multitasking, where you can actually drag things out of there onto the screen and multitask with different little windows open. But I don't really use that. So, you turn the Q slide off, and it gives you quite a bit of real estate back. They could have made these a little smaller to where it wasn't as obtrusive, but to me, again, it's not really that big a deal. I think people make more of a big a deal than it is. But as you can see, as I swipe these notifications away, there's a lot of room there. So it's not really a big issue. It's excuse me. The UI on it, I think, is smooth. It's fast. It's not bloated. It's not a memory hog. Memory management on the phone is pretty good. I do have some default apps turned off. They're disabled because I feel like if I'm not going to use it, there's no need to have it. But it's really good at managing memory, and it's just not an issue. I mean, we've got 900 megs of memory free out of 2 gigs, so it's fast, it's smooth. The IPS screen is amazing, looks great. Camera on it, 13 megapixel, takes fantastic pictures, way better than the Note. Now again, I'm sure the Note 3 camera is much better. I know my wife's S4 camera is really good. My Note 2 could never take a picture as good as her S4. This camera is in a lot of ways better, and it's just as good, if not better, all the time. So definitely improvement in the camera. So there you have it. I think it's a great device. Actually, too, one thing I meant to mention is I have better cellular signal with this phone than I did my Note 2, and I don't go by just the bars. I actually go by what I can do where I'm at. And there's a couple places here close to my house that signal on my Note 2 was always 1 bar or less. With this phone, I have 2 bars. My Note 2, I struggled to even pull up a web page or make a post. This, no problem. So I know that there's better signal with the LG G2 than there was in the Note 2. Now I don't know if the radio is the same in the Note 3 or not, but I find that this right here gives me zero issues, and I have much better signal in lots of places. And again, it's Snapdragon 800 is just fantastic processor. It's just wicked fast. Never any lag, in my opinion, for anything. But there you have it. I think it's a great phone. If you're considering the Note 3, you definitely need to give the LG G2 a look. I think that with this phone and the Nexus 5 that LG have put out, they have really established themselves back into the hardware market. I think these are two flagship phones for them. I think they're awesome. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.